Hello everybody, I hope you're all well. Welcome to another video. Now this is a channel update video which is essentially just reporting on my experience of Salute 52, which I attended a couple of weeks ago. Now this video is out a little bit later than I'd have wanted, but unfortunately I haven't been very well, my kids haven't been very well, and also work has been horrendous. However, I do want to share what my experiences of the day were. I was very kindly extended a press ticket from the people at Salute, but I got to be honest, I would have been there anyway. I've gone to every Salute bar one in the last 12-13 years. I missed one because I had to go to an antenatal class before my eldest daughter was born, but I still want to share because I got quite a few thoughts on this this event, but what I thought I'd just show first of all is just a few bits that came in the bag. And then I've got footage and just a bit of a chat about the show itself, and then I'll do the obligatory share what I spent my money on. But as we got in there, we were given one of the goodie bags, and I'm sure you've probably seen these in a lot of updates already, but there's the really nice show guide and the Salute dice, which will be going with the rest of my Salute dice. I got a sprue of Qua from War Games Atlantic. Now, I do have a few Qua, so I'll keep hold of that for when I start working on them. A really nice dice tray to go with my collection of dice trays. Some War Mag magnets for storage, just to sort of try out. The Salute miniature, which was sculpted by Paul Hicks, and I've got a few other things that I bought from Paul, so I'm really pleased he did it. This is of Lieutenant Colonel James McDonnell, and this is sort of when he's shutting the gate at Hougoumont at the Battle of Waterloo. It's a really nice sculpt, and the theme was Highlanders, and there were some bagpipers going all day while we were there. Their lung capacity was just amazing. And then there's another little miniature here, and I'm sorry, I can't. Who's actually? Oh, does it say here by Titan Forge? And there's a sort of dwarf Highlander. I might make use of that in Midgard or Guards of Traitor's Toll or something like that. So that was really nice. Now, Salute itself, from what I understand, was basically an all-round success. Over 7,000 people attended. It was sold out. I know they released extra tickets, and I have to say, and I'm sure I'll cover this later, that I just felt the engagement, the pre-show engagement this year was on a completely different level to previous years. I definitely felt like there was more of a buzz about going to Salute this year. There were a couple of things that were getting released. Interestingly, I didn't think any of the big companies were releasing anything at Salute, but there were lots of other companies who had sort of new things coming out. There was stuff from Great Escape Games, stuff from War Games Atlantic and Footsore. There was Guards of Traitor's Toll. You know, there were quite a few things that were coming out, and stuff that I didn't even know about when we were walking around. So, you know, it really was nice to sort of, you know, see some surprises, but also there was certainly a larger amount of fantasy and sci-fi games to historical. I would say the split was almost 50-50, maybe historical's edging it out just a bit, but that was just fantastic to see, to be honest, because there's fantasy wargamers and sci-fi wargamers getting exposed to some, you know, lovely new historical systems, and likewise the other way, you know, historical gamers getting exposed to lots of really nice sort of indie companies that are producing some really nice, quite different fantasy games and fantasy miniatures. Anyway, what I'm going to do, I just go switch over, and I just want to share with you a bit of a sort of a walk around, some of the stuff that I saw while I was there, and then we'll have a look at what I got hold of. So Salute is put on by the South London Warlords, and when I got there, to be fair, I got there probably about hour and a half before the doors opened, and apart from a hankering for caffeine, it was really nice to just have a wander around the hall. The thing is, everyone is setting up at that point, so don't really want to bother them, but it was nice to go around and check out, you know, the games that were going to be being played later in the day, and also just see, you know, everyone setting up and say hi to a few people. I saw a lot of familiar faces, my friends from the Plastic Crack podcast, other YouTubers, retailers, and it was really nice just to try and catch up. But as you can see, it got very busy very, very quickly. This was the War Games Atlantic stand, so you've got the Baron's War, Test of Honor, and also the Guards of Traitors Toll there as well. And then there were these awesome participation games going on, like this huge Titan battle in the middle of the hall, with people participating all the way around the outside. I did mean to come back to this and have a, sort of see if I could have a go, but I was distracted by this. And so there's Yorkshire Ken waving his flag, and as always, he always puts on a fantastic looking game. No round dice in sight and no goblins. This wasn't the Italian Wars, which he usually puts on, but his game did win, if I remember correctly. He's like one of the best in show results, and it really did look cool. And all the effort he goes to put on these big games really is awesome. Over on the other side of the hall, Simon Miller had put on this game for Lust for Glory, which is essentially To the Strongest, set in the sort of the Marlborough Age, the War of Spanish Succession. So this was a fictional game in the War of Spanish Succession, but it just looked awesome. I just kept coming back through the day just to see how it was going, and something that I'm always impressed with is Simon's tables and the To the Strongest rules, of which this is this developed from, and to be honest, I'm really interested in potentially using these rules for looking at gaming the Great Northern War. I will be using Beneath the Lily Banners, but I mean, just look at this. This looks how you think those battles should look. This was right near the end of the day when I came back, and I did a lot of the cavalry from one side had made its way across the battlefield, but a really nice setup, and yeah, really impressive. This Burrows and Badgers setup as well I thought was quite fun, with the sort of the ant farm effect, and the Burrows and Badgers stand was rammed all day. I did take a break so I could go and check out a few of the panels that were on. This was the Hobby Heroes one, which Alex from Storm of Steel and a bunch of other people were on. So I went over to go and check that out, which was a laugh. And again, as you can see here, just the quality of the tables that was on display was really high. And unlike other years when I've gone, I felt that there were more full tables. In fact, I can't actually remember seeing any empty tables. Like this game of Water Tanker, I just look at the quality of what was there, and this was going all day. And then equally, again, Soldiers of Napoleon, Warwick and Piers were there, and they were basically playing people through this game, showing them how it plays. And if you watch the channel, you know that I really enjoy this system. So to see this, and this took an award as well, this game did, and this table, it's very easy to see how people can get so excited about historical wargaming. And I really hope that some people who went along, maybe looking at more sort of fantasy themed things, saw some tables like this one, or like the Soldiers of Napoleon, and got excited. Likewise, I know that there was people there who went there with the sole intention of getting historical miniatures, who were sort of blown away by some of the more fantasy themed tables. And every scale was there as well. So you had 6mm stuff like this Omaha Beach game that was going on, which was really impressive. So for those people who are interested in the smaller scale miniatures, then you were covered as well. And that was really nice to see, and a really nice looking board. Now, this was the Baron's War demo table. This is while Robin and I were sort of getting sort of chatted through a setup and sort of the rough bits and bobs of a game. But even this as a demo table was top notch and really nice to see. So I did try to take as many videos as I could, but it was a busy day, and well, you'll see now why. Okay, so after that sort of look around the show, I thought I would do sort of the obligatory salute haul, the convention haul, so I can show you what I got. Now, some of these things, are things that probably won't necessarily make it onto the channel. They're just little personal projects for me, or for the RPGs that I play. But this will give you an idea of things that are coming up on the channel, what you might expect to see in some upcoming battle reports, and just some bits and bobs that I thought were fun to paint. So let's have a look. Right, so you probably have already seen, maybe if you're interested, the video I did unboxing this, which is the second edition or box set for the Barons War, so I'm not going to go through that again, but that was I would say one of my two main purchases at Salute. So there we go. We have the Barons War box set for second edition. But I also picked up this, which is the War Games Atlantic Mounted Knights. I thought these would make a nice sort of companion to that box set, and because you get 12 in here, I thought it was very easy to split 6 knights and 6 knights. That gives me options to make some commanders. There's already quite a few unboxings of this, so I'm not going to bother doing that. How I will do this project, it's more going to be of a sort of project log, a retinue review, if you like, as I start building things. So these will feature in that. But it does look like a very cool box, and it is stuffed with sprues, which is always good to see. So yeah, so that's just a quick one. So I won't go and spend too much time on these, but yeah, you will see these on the channel, but actually in the Barons War videos. One of the first things I bought at Salute was this 3D printed forge, medieval or fantasy. There you go. It's got really nice details. And this is by a shop called Parabellum Miniatures, and they were actually launching their website at Salute. Now, this is printed in FDM. This isn't resin, and I've got to say, I am blown away by the quality of this FDM printing. I've had FDM prints before, you know, and you know, there's always talk about layer lines and things, but unless you get really close up on these, you can't see them. These are really quality prints, and the people who ran the store were really obliging with their time. They showed us what they were building, you know, how they were building out the website. Now these miniatures, or these buildings rather, this is from a deep Briarwood range that's from Dark Realms. So these guys obviously printing them, but they did show us the I said this is not the prancing pony from Lord of the Rings, but just look at this building with all of the beds and everything in the top of it, and just all those details on the bar. So I've already ordered 2 more buildings since coming back from Salute from these guys. I imagine they got a lot of orders, but I did drag a couple of my friends back over to this stall a couple of times throughout the day because I just wanted to show it off. And yeah, these guys are really impressed with this. And just to give you an idea, just for scale purposes, there's one of my guards of Traitor's Toll. Oh, miniatures there. So as you can see, that scales in quite nicely. Sorry for the out of focus camera there, but there we go. So that, really nice, really pleased with that. I will be getting more, and what I'll do is I'll paint this up. Maybe when I get the other 2 as well, I'll do a video just showing those off. So yeah, really pleased with that. Okay, so one of the other things I wanted to get hold of at Salute, and you know was going to be fairly chunky for me, was a new range of miniatures by Paul Hicks. And Paul Hicks, who does amazing sculpts for so many companies. You know, you no matter what you're collecting, I guarantee you that somewhere in your armies and in your miniature collections, you have some Paul Hicks sculpts. Anyway, he was releasing a new range that he kickstarted originally, but they're out for general sale at Salute through Footsore, and those are Hicksy's halflings. They're halflings with a bit of a historical twist, a bit of an Italians war kind of feel to them. And well, I'll just show you. I ended up buying one. Let's just get one of every single pack that he had. I believe I was his first customer as well. These are just awesome and full of character. We got a halfling foot command, halfling witch hunters, halflings with great swords, halflings riding goats, a halfling commander on a goat, a halfling archers, halfling cultists, spearmen, and handgunners. But let me just grab a few of these out. I don't really know what I'm going to do with these. I'm considering an army for Midgard, with maybe using some of the ogres from War Games Atlantic. I thought that could be quite fun, just having halflings and ogres together. But you've just got to see the quality of here we are. Really nice, clear sculpts. Lots of character, as you would expect from Paul Hicks. Lovely. Let me just grab a couple of the others. I don't know what it is about these that's grabbed me. I mean, I do paint predominantly historical miniatures. I know I'm painting up some fantasy stuff for Guards of Traitor's Toll at the minute, but you know, it's still just you know, I like to just do something that's a bit different every now and then. So these will be a nice sort of, I don't know, cleanser, palette cleanser. I could probably use them for Saga, Age of Magic as well, but look at these. Halfling cultists. There's one here as well who's reading from some kind of cursed book, and he's got like Cthulhu-y tentacles coming out of the book. That's just awesome. And then we get these two. Great fun. Hang on, I'll just grab a couple of the others. So yeah, I mean, go check these out. I'll leave links to all of these shops and sellers that I mentioned down below. Let's have a look at this halfling commander on his goat. Look, we can see his multiple. Oh, he comes with a tactical rock for the goat. Excellent. Let's pop that in there. It's an imposing sallet, and then imagine. Oh yes, there's the goat's actual head. Oh, there we go. So no, I think that's just going to be very cool. Lots of fun. As I say, still not 100% sure how I'm going to do it. Oh, he comes with 2 bases, depending on what I want to do with him. That's cool. And great swords, archers. There's a little mini. I'm sorry, I don't want to do a complete sort of unboxing of every single one of these. He's probably deserved their own video when I do them. But where is he? Where is it? There's a little mini Matthew Hopkins in here. Matthew Hopkins Witchfinder. There we go. A little Witchfinder halfling. Being from East Anglia and living in Bury St Edmunds, Matthew Hopkins has got quite a reputation around here. There he is, look. I could have him versus the cultists, or I don't know what I'm going to do. But these are just really nice. So do go and check them out. Whether or not you actually collect fantasy, you know what? All of us need to do something a bit different, and these are just awesome. So I've got cavalry, I've got great swords, I've got infantry, I've got handgunners. We just have to see how this one develops. Now, you guys know that I'm a fan of Dead Man's Hand, and I couldn't walk away without picking up some bits for it. I adore this game, and when I saw that this set here was coming out at Salute, The Good, the Bad and the Ugly, that this was always going to happen. What was really annoying for me was I was a bit worried that they were going to run out of these, because the Hickses, Halflings and War Games Atlantic stuff are at one end of the hall, and then Great Escape were at the other, and I was a bit concerned that, I mean, I didn't know how many they were going to bring of these, or how many of the Halflings they were going to bring, so I had to grab these and shoot really quickly over to the other side to grab them. But you know, The Good, the Bad and the Ugly is my favourite. Well, it's my favourite Western. It's one of my favourite films of all time, and I will die on that hill. I will fight anyone about that. I adore this film. So when I saw that they were releasing this set, where you get both the mounted and dismounted versions of each of the characters. So you've got Blondie, which is Clint Eastwood, Angel Eyes, which is Lee Van Cleef, and Tuco, which is Eli Wallach. And I love that pose that he's in there, swinging the gun. They've all got their own special rules and rules cards in here. As you can see, I've already had a peek. I couldn't not, and I can't wait to put those together. So I'll probably do a video just on these guys, just a little sort of unboxing, showcase, and sort of show you what I'm doing for the painting. And I also then picked up the second of the 2 supplements to the main game, which is The Bad and the Ugly. And for lack of a better phrase, this is an army book, you know, a list book, and this deals with the rest of the gangs that weren't dealt with in the Good. So these are the cards for the decks that relate to the gangs in here. So in here we've got the US Cavalry, Banditos, Bushrangers, Confederados, the Family, Kelly Gang, Pinkertons, And then we've got rules for sort of the ugly, the sort of the zombies and the more supernatural things. But like the other book, The Good, this is really nicely laid out, clear rules, tweaks to what's already been out before. I love it how the Pinkertons are the bad. That makes me happy. And just lots of nice pictures and content. So here we are. Here's the dead bear. I've got some of those. So if we want to go into things and we can, you know, have some zombies and that, and the Count running around Dead Man's Hand, that would be a lot of fun. I don't think I've done a battle report yet where we've used the Baron and the Cursed, which are the zombies. So maybe that would be a good one to do. Maybe that would be a bit of fun. In here as well, which is quite cool, you get a whole series of scenes, so scenarios, look, for you to play, you know, carry on expanding and playing the game, and some alternative rules for Jokers. So that's a really nice thing to pick up, and I'm looking forward to getting stuck into it. Obligatory brushes. I just picked these up from the Pro Art stand, so just some more brushes for dry brushing, because the makeup brushes that I bought before, or that I stole from Haley, have just fallen apart, and I only thought about it when I saw them, so I just bought them then and there, and just some backup brushes for my normal projects. But I did finish at the War Bases stand, where I picked up this and this. Well, this is empty, but you'll see them. So if you watch the Plastic Crack podcast, we had Glenn on a couple of weeks before Salute, and all we can chat about are these, and these are the Haggis. Of these little, you know, 5 cute but savage Highland critters. Maybe I could put these in with my halflings, and I could have these as like the halfling equivalent of war dogs. The reason they're out of the packet is because my oldest daughter, is going to paint these. So I've already stuck them to their bases, these little critters. They are lovely little sculpts. It's a bit hard to actually tell what they are. Without getting some paint on, but this one's kind of sitting on its hind legs, begging, and then you got these ones that are coming forward, sort of gnashing. But I could see these sort of ahead of some halflings or some goat cavalry, you know, being sent in a bit like the flaming pigs in the Punic Wars. And this one, I promised my youngest daughter that I would get a spider for her to paint, because she's obsessed with spiders. And I've already stuck this together, this bad boy, and I wanted to share this because this is awesome. Now, these miniatures are all metal, but look at that. All the legs, well, the 6 legs at the front were separate, the hind legs weren't. And then you've got these eggs down the front. It does come with some additional pieces actually here, which is a cocooned person. Well, let's say you could. There we go, just a sort of mummified cocoon person, and another one there with some spider eggs around it. But my daughter didn't want those on this base, so she told me where she wanted everything, and I stuck this together. And she is going to paint this. So this, again, could use it in Midgard, could use it in Rangers of Shadow Deep, any RPGs. So they really are high quality metal figures that you get from War Bases. Do go and check them out. They've got a growing range, and which even includes these little toad folk, little frogmen who've got tortoise shells as their shields. So that's kind of what I picked up. So Baron's War, scenery. Anyway, I'm really looking forward to sharing this with you. Plans for the channel at the moment, as you've probably seen, there's quite a few sort of things that I've started. There's battle reports on the way recently. Played a second game of Midgard, set in the Arthurian Age, so we've got another one of those coming. Dead Man's Hand was out the other day. I want to start doing a few more Dead Man's Hand videos because I really enjoy it as a game. It's not a lot of, you know, hassle to play. It's easy to set up. It's easy to film, you know. So there'll be more of those coming. There are also the project logs, which you'll be seeing coming from the Baron's War, as I start to build up those retinues. Yeah, I'll just be sharing more of those. I'm hoping to have a game of those soon. So a lot of my focus seems to be back now on the medieval period quite solidly. I feel like I've maybe had a break from it for a little while, and that's going to be coming back. That Still, there's Guards of Traitor's Toll on the way, but yeah, that's going to be coming as well. So overall, my impressions of Salute. I have to say, I've been going to Salute now for over 10 years, and I do think that this was well, from my point of view, it seemed like it was the most successful. There was just a much more of a buzz around this one than previous ones I've seen. I felt the engagement that they did beforehand was top notch. The layout, although, you know, I know some people would probably say that they changed the layout because they didn't have maybe as many vendors, because there are a couple of big vendors who were missing. What they would lay out made more sense. They put more seating around the outside for people, and then yes, you kind of, in that way you compress people into a smaller space, so people are looking at more things. Every table was full though. The games were buzzing. There was just a really good atmosphere with everyone there. Thank you again to all of the people who came and said hi. It was really nice chatting to you all. And yeah, I just hope you enjoyed the channel, and I hope you had a great day at Salute. I noticed that most people were laden with heavy bags full of metal and plastic and dice. So I hope that you're all enjoying that. For next year's Salute, we'll just have to see. I'll definitely carry on going. Whether or not I go as a guest, as I was lucky enough to go this year, then, you know, I don't know. I'll always be there. So if you ever see me at Salute, or if you see me at Warfare or something, please do say hi. I just like chatting, and I like chatting about war games, and I love hearing about what people are up to. Anyway, guys, I'm going to go because this is probably already running a bit long. But I hope you all keep well, and I will be back for another battle report or another project update in the near future. In the meantime, feel free to ask me any questions down below, and I'll see you all again soon in the next one. Take care of yourselves. Bye-bye.